Listen up, you lot. Today, we're tackling a staple ingredient, one that's been abused far too often, the humble potato. I'm gonna show you 3 recipes so damn delicious, so incredibly easy, even you Muppets at home can't mess them up. We're talking crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, bursting with flavor. Get ready to elevate your potato game from tragic to magic. First up, we're tackling crispy garlic potatoes with herbs. This is one of those recipes that's so simple yet so delicious, you'll wonder why you haven't been making it your whole life. Now this ain't rocket science, but you need to pay attention. A few small details can make a big difference in the final result. Grab yourself some potatoes. I'm using Yukon Golds here, but you can use whatever you've got on hand. You won't be judged. Much. Yukon Golds are great because they have a nice balance of waxy and starchy qualities, making them perfect for roasting. Peel those bad boys and chop them into bite-sized pieces. You want them to be roughly the same size so they cook evenly. Don't make them too small, you want a bit of substance, yeah? Think of them as little golden nuggets of flavor. Next, grab yourself a head of garlic. Garlic is the star of this dish, so don't skimp on it. And for God's sake, use fresh garlic, none of that pre-minced rubbish. Fresh garlic has a much better flavor and aroma. Smash the cloves, roughly chop them. We're going for rustic here, not Michelin star. The rough chop will give you little bursts of garlic flavor in every bite. Now, for the herbs, I'm using rosemary and thyme, fresh off the damn twig. These herbs add a wonderful earthy flavor that pairs perfectly with the garlic and potatoes. Chop them up nice and fine. You want the herbs to be evenly distributed throughout the dish. Now crank your oven up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. A hot oven is key to getting those potatoes crispy. Toss the potatoes, garlic, and herbs in a bowl with a generous glug of olive oil, salt, and pepper. The oil helps them crisp up, and the seasoning brings out all the flavors. Don't be shy with the seasoning, you want these potatoes to have some attitude. A well-seasoned potato is a happy potato. Spread them out on a baking sheet and shove them in the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, until they're golden brown and crispy on the outside. Make sure they're in a single layer so they roast evenly. While they're baking, resist the urge to open the bloody oven every 5 minutes. Let the heat do its job, let them do their thing. The less you interfere, the better they'll turn out. Once they're done, take them out and give them a taste. They should be crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. If they're not crispy enough for you, give them another blast under the broiler. Just keep an eye on them so they don't burn. Serve these beauties up as a side dish with your favorite protein, or just devour them straight off the baking sheet. I won't judge. Enjoy every crispy, garlicky bite. Next up, we're diving into a classic potato pancakes. But these aren't just any potato pancakes, we're taking them to the next level. Now I know what you're thinking, Gordon, potato pancakes, really? That's a bit basic, isn't it? But trust me, there's more to this humble dish than meets the eye. Listen up, you donkey. There's a reason this dish has stood the test of time. It's all about the technique and the quality of ingredients. When done right, it's bloody delicious. The crispy exterior and the soft, flavorful interior make it irresistible. First, grab yourself some potatoes. I like to use a mix of russet and Yukon Gold for this one, gives it a nice texture. The russets are starchy and help with the crispiness, while the Yukon Golds add a buttery flavor. Peel them and grate them up. Make sure to get a fine grate. It helps with the texture. Now, this is important. Squeeze out as much moisture as you can from the grated potatoes. Excess moisture will make your pancakes soggy, and we don't want that. We don't want soggy pancakes, do we? No, we want them crispy and perfect. Next, grab a bowl and crack in a couple of eggs. The eggs will help bind everything together. Whisk them up with a fork until they're well beaten. Add in the grated potatoes along with some flour, salt, and pepper. The flour helps to hold the mixture together, and the seasoning is crucial for flavor. Mix it all together until you have a thick batter. It should be thick enough to hold its shape but not too dry. If it's too runny, add a bit more flour. You want the consistency just right. Heat up some oil in a pan over medium heat. The oil needs to be hot enough to sizzle but not so hot that it burns the pancakes. Once it's nice and hot, drop spoonfuls of the potato mixture into the pan. Don't overcrowd the pan, give them space to cook evenly. Flatten them out slightly with the back of a spoon. This helps them cook more evenly and get that perfect crisp. Cook for a few minutes on each side until they're golden brown and crispy. Keep an eye on them to make sure they don't burn. Serve these bad boys up hot with a dollop of sour cream or applesauce. The tanginess of the sour cream or the sweetness of the applesauce complements the savory pancakes perfectly. Or, if you're feeling really adventurous, try them with some smoked salmon and caviar. It adds a touch of luxury and makes for an impressive dish. Go on, live a little. These potato pancakes are versatile and can be dressed up or down. Enjoy. Chapter 3. Baked potatoes with cheese and bacon. It's like a party in your mouth. Finally, we're finishing strong with baked potatoes with cheese and bacon. This is the ultimate comfort food, perfect for a lazy night in or a weekend feast. Imagine the crispy skin giving way to a fluffy, tender interior, all topped with gooey cheese and crispy bacon. It's a dish that brings everyone to the table with a smile. And it's so easy, even a toddler could make it. Seriously, this recipe is foolproof and perfect for getting the little ones involved in the kitchen. They'll love pricking the potatoes and sprinkling the toppings. Start by preheating your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. This high temperature ensures that the potatoes get a nice, crispy skin while the insides become perfectly tender. Grab yourself some russet potatoes. They're the best for baking, nice and fluffy on the inside. Russets have a high starch content, which makes them ideal for this recipe. Wash them well and prick them all over with a fork. This step is crucial as it allows the steam to escape during baking, preventing any potato explosions in your oven. This will help the steam escape and prevent them from exploding in your oven. Plus, it helps the heat penetrate more evenly, ensuring a perfectly cooked potato. Rub the potatoes with a bit of olive oil and sprinkle with salt and pepper. The olive oil helps the skin crisp up beautifully, while the salt and pepper add a simple but essential layer of flavor. Place them directly on the oven rack and bake for about an hour, or until they're tender when pierced with a fork. You'll know they're done when a fork slides in easily without resistance. While the potatoes are baking, cook up some bacon. The smell of bacon frying is enough to make anyone's mouth water. I like mine nice and crispy, but cook it however you like it. Whether you prefer it chewy or crispy, make sure it's cooked to your liking. Once it's done, crumble it up and set it aside. These crispy bits of bacon will add a delightful crunch and smoky flavor to your potatoes. When the potatoes are done, take them out of the oven and let them cool slightly. This makes them easier to handle and ensures you don't burn yourself. Slice them open down the middle and fluff up the insides with a fork. This creates a nice bed for all the delicious toppings. Now it's time to load them up with all the good stuff. This is where you can get creative and add your favorite toppings. Add a knob of butter, a generous sprinkle of shredded cheddar cheese, and a handful of that crispy bacon. The butter melts into the fluffy potato, while the cheese and bacon add richness and texture. Pop them back in the oven for a few minutes, just until the cheese is melted and bubbly. This step ensures that every bite is warm and gooey. Top with a dollop of sour cream and some chopped chives and dig in. The sour cream adds a cool, creamy contrast, while the chives bring a fresh, oniony bite. This is pure comfort food heaven. Each bite is a perfect blend of flavors and textures, making it a dish that's sure to please everyone. There you have it, you Muppets. 3 easy potato recipes that are guaranteed to impress. No more excuses for serving up bland, boring potatoes. These recipes are packed with flavor, easy to follow, and damn delicious. Now get in the kitchen and start cooking. And for God's sake, don't burn the potatoes.